Welcome back to the channel, and we are here for another episode of my F122 My Team Career Mode. We have the Miami Grand Prix this weekend. It is round 4 of this championship, which is due to obviously us doing 16 races if you guys are not up to date with this career mode series. Recap on the season so far. The first race we just missed out on points. The second race we retired with a mechanical problem. In the last race, but it was pretty chaotic. The sprint race we started 12th, ended up having to take a gearbox penalty and putting us dead last for the Grand Prix, and we ended up finishing 6th because it was pretty chaotic. And I won't spoil it too much for you guys, so if you want to go and watch what happened in that race, I will leave the card at the top right of your screen right now and you can go and watch part 3. So yeah, we're right on to Miami, and I was pretty looking forward to this weekend as well because I'd say Miami's one of my best tracks on this game so far, just due to the amount of laps I've done around this track. So I was looking forward to that, and as you can see there, the pace showing it there right behind Carlos Sainz, but Ricciardo goes fastest. And it was pretty much a mixed up order the first half of quali, and we currently stood P14, and I seen Carlos Sainz there in P12, but when it came to the end of quali there, we dropped down to P20, Oscar's P18. We're on a not too bad lap here, 2/10 up on our previous lap. I don't think it's going to be good enough for the top 15. It's not, unfortunately, but we've managed to qualify 18th, which again is still decent for us in quali because we never seem to be too high up in qualifying with our pace. I don't even know, I think that's maybe the highest I've qualified, maybe matched the highest qualifying position we've had this year. Out qualifying our teammate for the second race in a row again, so we're 2-2 on the quali stats for this year. So I think the highest position we could have got there would have been P17, but I have to say I don't think it matters too much right now because I'd say we've got a much better race car than we do qualifying car. I have proved that the last few races, and hopefully today with one of my best tracks here we're able to show that once again. So it's an easy one stop, I'd say, to the end. Oscar starts P22 now as well because he's taken a gearbox penalty, so he'll be starting P22 dead last, and I don't blame him, to be honest. We're right at the back anyway, so we don't have nothing to lose. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this Grand Prix. I hope you guys are too. We are moments away here. We've got Lance Stroll beside us, Sebastian Vettel in front of us, and Alexander Albon behind us. Can we get points? Well, let's find out as the race is underway here. It's been a brilliant start from Lance Stroll just ahead of us. Not so great start for us there. We're 3 wide almost, and down the inside of Vettel we go here. We're always side by side with Seb, I've noticed in the first lap of these races. It seems to be a continuous thing. We're still side by side there, and it's very close ahead of us. Lance Stroll is the one that's had a brilliant start of us all at the back, side by side with Vettel. It's so close between us two as we're going to try and go round outside. We've really went wide there, and Vettel's actually slowed down quite a bit, and we've been able to go round his outside and make the move stick, and Albon's followed us through there, right up the back of Yuki Tsunoda as well, and we've understeered quite a lot into this next corner, and we've not had a great exit, so we won't get a chance to get any of the cars ahead. As we skip later on to the end of the straight, well, I was wrong because all the cars were backing each other up there, and we've now went down the inside of Yuki Tsunoda, and Lance Stroll's now just ahead of us. And look at that, Norris and Ricciardo going for it. We go for a late dive on Stroll, but we've had to back out last second with Tsunoda bouncing over the curb there, and it's very tight between all these cars around this section, but we managed to make the right decision and not make contact with Lance Stroll. We could have made hefty contact and damaged our wing, and that would have been our race pretty much done with. Lance Stroll has made the move on Daniel Ricciardo there, and we are now going to attack Ricciardo as we go into the next corner, and it's side by side. No, it's not, because Ricciardo turning in on us there for some odd reason. We were past him, but for some reason he was just turning in, and he's probably not done himself any good in this race. He's probably got front wing damage as well. It's just now skipped later on to lap 8. We've been following Lance Stroll for a very long time. Ourselves and Stroll's pace is probably about the same. We are just staying behind Stroll to get the DRS at this point, just to keep up with him. And there's Lando Norris there. He is out of the Grand Prix, and I believe Guan Yu Zhou as well was out of the race on the exact same lap. So 2 retirements in 1 lap. Not causing any safety cars or VSCs, but as we now skip on about 5 laps later, we are coming in for our pit stop. We've decided to pit exactly when Lance Stroll has, and we're going to try and win this in the pit stops rather than trying to undercut. And we've got a few other cars in the pits as well. I believe that's Magnussen as well. Can we get a perfect turn in? Yes, we can. If it's a good stop here, it could be very close with Lance Stroll as we come out the pits. No, it's not. We've been held, unfortunately, there. And yeah, we did try, but unfortunately we just got to try and get the move done on track. So a lap later here, the other drivers in front with Perez and Tsunoda trying to overcut us there. It's very close with Tsunoda. He's nearly made the overcut work on us there. That would have been very crucial for our race, and Perez is P12 as well. He had problems earlier on in this Grand Prix, and he's now pitted and done the overcut on us. And look at this, that's Ocon and Bottas. This is a bit stupid, this incident here. And look at that, Bottas flies across the track, and that bogs down the cars ahead of us, and we are now into the slipstream of Perez and Lance Stroll. We lifted off quite heavily. I had no idea where the AI was going to go, but I know where Stroll's going. He's going very wide because I was late on the brakes from Stroll there, and we've managed to make the move on Lance Stroll, and we now sit behind Perez. So very close racing there, but Bottas and Ocon, I think Bottas wanted to come to the pits, and Ocon was just at the wrong place at the track. And now we skip later on to lap 16, and we've near enough dropped out the corner there. Ocon is now holding Magnussen, Perez, Arcel and Stroll up. There was a massive DRS train, and Ocon actually did pit the next lap, which allowed Perez to pull away. And look at ahead, Perez and Magnussen going for it. They're not the only ones going for it as well, because we're defending from Stroll. Stroll's got a fantastic exit, and he's went round the outside, but he's went a little bit wide, letting Tsunoda round the outside there, near enough making a move, and managed to keep our position. And now we skip later on to lap 22, where we've been able to show how quick our car can be in this race. We've been very consistent. Our pace with Magnussen is pretty much the exact same. The only deficit we've got is our power unit, unfortunately. So we've been stuck behind Magnussen for a few laps now, but we've kind of just been enjoying the DRS behind him as well, because it just lets us try and get away from the cars behind us, Tsunoda and Stroll and stuff like that. But on lap 25, after many laps of sitting behind him, we are now very close to Magnussen. I don't want to use too much of my airs as well, because we don't have too much. We're into the slipstream, we were barely gaining, as you can see, but it should be enough to throw an attack, in which we do. Magnussen goes defensive. We try to get a cut back. It was very close to knocking a ring off there to the back of Magnussen's car, but we've not been able to get a good enough exit to challenge him into the first corner. We were very close behind him, but we just can't gain on him at all. And the thing is, we just need to be at the right place at the right time and make sure we've got enough airs, and so we don't waste them, like the lap you're seeing right now. And now we're right behind Magnussen this time. We've got overtake on. We're still gaining slowly, but we're a lot closer this time. We think about the inside, but Magnussen defends well, but he's defended too much, and that's allowed us to get a good exit round outside. We've managed to get past Magnussen. This is for P10, the final point in this race. But the only problem we now have is Magnussen's now got the DRS. He's going to be coming at us very quickly into this first corner. He's near enough ahead of us as we break into the first corner now. It's very close between us here into the first corner. Can we defend the position? Yes, we can. We have 2 more laps to go in this race. And if it stays like this, we will grab 1 point for the team, which is quite crucial in the position we are in right now. Magnussen is firing back at us once again. He's been very defensive, and look at that, Magnussen is near enough out to the side of us. We've had to turn out the corner, and we're right at the back of him now. We did get a very nice exit, but it's all or nothing now as we head on to lap 28 of this race. We just have to deploy all the airs we've got for now. We just have to hopefully make sure this is not going to be a mistake, because now Magnussen goes defensive, and he's actually made contact with us. He's locked up and he's at the side of us, but luckily for us, we've got no wing damage. It was wheel-to-wheel contact, not front wing contact. And look at that, we managed to go off the track, and we have to give the position back to Magnussen now, because if we made the move off the track, we couldn't do nothing about it, and we've let Magnussen go there. We didn't make it easy for him, but we have to make sure we're quite close behind him, because we don't want to let him get away. And we've only got 1 lap to go after this in this Grand Prix, and as you can see, we are very close to Magnussen, but unfortunately we're just not close enough, because we don't want to use all our airs right now as we skip later on into the lap. My favourite section of this track. We do so well round at this section of the track, and you can see there contact with Magnussen once again, as we get a fantastic excess wheel-to-wheel stuff once again between us and Magnussen, but this time we are very close behind him. We've got 30% airs left, and Stroll! Look at Stroll coming out of nowhere. He's absolutely firing past us. He's probably going to get Magnussen as well. We've now got the slipstream off Stroll and Magnussen as we send a dive down the inside. It's 3 wide into the next corner. We run the car a little bit wide, a little bit too wide for our liking there. Magnussen's now got a good exit. It's 3 wide behind us, and it's chaos. There's been contact behind us, and Tsunoda's managed to get through, and Vettel's followed through with that as well. So I do not know what's just happened there, but there was a bit of contact between Stroll and Magnussen, which caused a bit of a chaotic collision behind, and that allowed us to come home in P10 with Yuki Tsunoda and Sebastian Vettel in P11 and 12. So we've done it again. 2 races in a row we've managed to grab points for the team, which is great. We've done it on pace this time. We was not due to any luck with safety cars, no safety cars at all, so that's very promising on our side of the garage. Obviously Miami is one of my best circuits, as I said before, and I very much enjoyed that one. So the results of that put us 12th in the standings. We've obviously went down. We were 10th before, and we've fallen down to P12, but we can't do much about that. But look at that, from us all the way down to Albon. It is very close, and anything can happen in this season. And at this stage of the championship, the constructors is looking not too bad as well. 2 points behind AlphaTauri, but I would say it's a bit of a stretch trying to get AlphaTauri right now. We still are fighting the Aston Martins and Williams in the Constructors' Championship, but as the races go on, you never know. We could have a chance of getting that 8th place and maybe even higher, depending on what happens in the season. But yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. This has been part 4 of my team career mode. I'll be back with part 5 tomorrow or the next day, which is the Spanish Grand Prix. I wasn't going to do Spain for this year's season, but I just thought we'd add it anyway, just for the sake of, you know, the new corner, because it isn't really a nice track to drive in general, but I just thought I'd go with it anyway, just to show it off on the new game. But yeah, guys, make sure to leave a like if you've enjoyed, comment below what you think of the championship so far, subscribe if you're new to never miss a My Team Career Mode video or any of my videos, and yeah, guys, take care now, and I'll see you in the next video.